What's going on, guys? It's your boy Bombay, and today I'm going to be bringing you something new. So previously I've been asked to do a Race to Ultron series on my YouTube, as well as a Race to Doom series. Now the Race to Doom, of course, is going to be on my main account, which I'm going to be uploading in the next few days. But the Race to Ultron, of course, is on my baby account, as you can see here, with level 63. And pretty much the essence of this is keeping you up to date on how I'm doing in this race. I am doing this race with two other people. One is the Carrot 760 and the other is the Joker X 1991. We're all in the same alliance, so we all have the equal advantage. And we've all kind of gone our own different ways with who we focused on when we started off and who we're planning to take into Dark Dimension 2. But I'm gonna take you through my roster right now. I'm just gonna quickly promote all of these characters, and I'll take you through my roster and show you who I'm focusing on and who I'm thinking of taking into Dark Dimension 2. Now, of course, some people will say, "Oh, you want to go into Dark Dimension 1 first?" Some say, "You want to go into Dark Dimension 2 first." Now, truthfully, it's easier to get into Dark Dimension 2 first because by the time you're level 60. You're still not very likely to have any 6-star characters, which is of course the requirement you need to get into Dark Dimension 1. So if you have a look here, the closest character I have is my Hulk and Captain America, both actually coincidentally having 72 out of 200 shards. Now, you know, I'm level 63 and for the most part, there's a little bit of XP needed to rank up. I think I'll need about another 100,000 plus XP or so to get to level 70. We do have infographics, an infographic to show you how much XP is needed to rank up. I think I can grab that for you, but just to be on the safe side, I'll just go and post it in the description below so you can have a look at that yourself. So anyway, so yeah, I'll go ahead and show you what my characters, who my characters that I'm focusing on are, and who I'm planning to take into. So I started off by focusing on the Wave 1 Avengers. Now, for newer players, we were blessed with getting the Wave 1 Avengers more or less sort of in a package. You get Thor and Captain America in your first Fortnite login calendar, and then you also get Deadpool. Now Deadpool isn't a Wave 1 Avenger, but he's still useful for the Mercenary event, of course. And we also have a Flash event infographic if you'd like to see that. I'll post that in the description below as well. Nevertheless, carrying on. So like I said, I've been working on my Thor, my Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, whom I have here. Hawkeye's a little bit far behind. He's been a little bit more of a stingy farm, but I do have a bunch of complete factions, which has been aiding my blitz teams, my sort of blitz playing. I do have Minerva, who's now farmable in the war store. I also have Ghost, who I was able to unlock through the blitzes. So for the most part, I should be able to take those two in if I wanted to. I also have Mr. Sinister as a third option, and obviously the reason why Mr. Sinister's possibly an option as well, we're balancing out the trait gear that we're using. Mr. Sinister's a mutant toon, Ghost is a tech, and Minerva's a tech, so you don't want to, double count any sort of gear there. As for the Wave 1 Avengers, I'd say the 3 that I'd probably take in from them to go alongside Minerva and Mr. Sinister, assuming I take them, would be Thor, Hulk, and Captain America. Now, yes, Hulk and Captain America are bio, but they're the ones that are going to give your team a little bit of survivability, with their ISOs being healer, their constant taunting and defense ups, and of course Thor with his passive building up as every Wave 1 Avenger takes some damage. But enough about that. Let's show you the rest of my roster. So we have our Sinister 6 built up. I unfortunately couldn't make it in time for Shuri, but I will be able to make it for Invisible Woman. So we'll be unlocking her on her first appearance on the baby account. She is unlockable at 5 stars and requires Sinister 6 only. So you'll need to get your Sinister 6 up to 5 stars. Her event should be returning on the 22nd of March, I believe. But I can inform you guys. If you come through to my Discord server, which I'll also post a link to in the description below, you can come through there and see for yourself. So we have our Brotherhood team sort of built up, and our Marauders along the way. Mercenaries for the Flash event. Kree, not really focusing on them, but only to build them up for the Gamma lanes and for the and just for another Blitz team, really. We have our Defenders, we have our Asgardians almost there. We just need to get those remaining shards for Hela. It's not easy to get her early on unless you're very lucky in your orbs. Moving on, we do have a full hand team, which is helpful for the relic hunt event, and that's something I think people neglect when they start off, or not necessarily neglect, but forget about. The flash events are just as important as farming for your campaign nodes and for other game modes like Arena and Blitz. Not to forget Raid as well. So as we can see, we've unlocked actually a lot of toons, and I'll tell you exactly how many toons I have unlocked. 102 characters unlocked. At level 63, we have a total collection power of 527,000, 168,000 strongest team power, fair amount of blitz wins, you know, given this is only a new account. I think I've been playing for 63 days now. Let's have a look. 66 days. So for a 66-day-old account, I'd say that's pretty good. Obviously, I do have the experience of a main account, which I've been playing for over 670 days on, so I do have a little bit of an advantage. The only people I don't have an advantage over, of course, are the whales, who, of course, if we have a look at the rankings, you'll see they're sort of in a world of their own with their large powered teams and their more synergized teams. I think I saw someone with Black Bolt already. If I can show you guys that quickly, let's have a look. Where was he? Well, I can't find him, but that's not a problem. Oh, I just found his name as I was leaving. There we go. It's Pendragon. There we go. Let's have a see. Let's have a look if he's still got his team on his front page. Yeah, he's got Black Bolt already, so you can kind of see what I'm working with here. Nevertheless, we're going to move on. So I'm going to show you all of my Blitz teams. Now, I could have more, but I haven't really focused on those. The only teams I've been focusing on are teams that I can have as a whole faction. So, for example, Wave 1 Avengers, Pimtech, and I'll show you guys in a sort of portrait screen. So we have Wave 1 Avengers, Pimtech, Sinister 6, a Kree team, which could do with a little bit of touching up. Almost complete Sinister 6. I don't have Ghost Rider, of course. He's not farmable, only, well, he is, but in a much later node that I can't access. We have our Brotherhood slash Marauders. Emma Frost is the only character I have not yet unlocked to complete the Marauders. She will be returning sometime in January. My guesses are after the 15th of January, which is when the next blog post should be released. So we'll be ready to unlock her. Then we have our Hand team, which now, given I unlocked Hand Assassin, she'll be taking the place of Hand Archer. And then once Nobu's unlocked, he'll be taking the place of Hand Blade Master. So Hand, like I said, Hand are useful for the Relic Hunt event, so definitely don't neglect them. We have our Power Armor team, our Mercenaries, our Hydra, which could also do with a little bit of buffing up, Defenders, Brawlers, Shield, and X-Men. Now, I would like to put my X-Force together, but again, we are missing one character, which is Negasonic Teenage Warhead. So that's kind of giving you a sort of basis of where I am. My strongest team at the moment is my Wave 1 Avengers, who are my Arena team, and I'll be building them up as time goes by, purely because they help out with the Heroes campaign and they help out with the Nexus campaign, because they're a very strong synergized team and they're kind of split out with how much trait gear they need, of course. Thor is Mystic, Black Widow and Hawkeye are Skill, and then Captain America and Hulk are Bio. Once the Asgardians, once I unlock all the Asgardians, I can have a better team in the Cosmic nodes, but for the most part, I've almost completed the whole Cosmic campaign. The only tricky one, or the trickier one I should say, is the Mystic campaign, because if we have a look at the characters required there, you can see that it's not as synergized as I'd like it to be. There's still a good amount of characters that I haven't yet unlocked. So, you know, early on it's quite important to remember to focus on teams that are going to get you far in the game, but also not divide you from the main goal, which of course for early on players is to get Ultron. For the most part, I don't see myself getting Ultron for, well, at least until I hit level 70, which by that time I should have collected a good amount of superior uniques and taken my teams a little bit stronger. But yeah, so what I'm focusing on at the moment is mainly farming gear and shards for my Wave 1 Avengers, but passively I'm farming the Sinister 6 to 5 stars, and I'm also farming for the Flash events, and those Flash events are Block Party, which comes once every other month on the 4th Friday of the month. Then you have the Chaos Theory event, which requires Wakandans. Now, of course, the first 4 or 5 tiers, I think it's 4 tiers. The first 4 tiers require 4 Wakandans, and then from tier 5, it does require a 5th. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm just going to double check that for you. I think it is actually up to tier 5 that you only need 4. I'll just double check that. Let's have a look. Yes. Okay. No. So at tier 4 is the highest tier that you can go with only 4 Wakandans. Now, of course, the only 4 Wakandans that you can acquire early on are Killmonger, M'Baku, Okoye, and Black Panther. Now, Black Panther's a 100 shard unlock, so he's a little bit harder to get, especially as he's not farmable until much later on. As for Shuri, she's only unlockable via the Spider-Verse tunes. So just to clarify, Shuri is unlockable by Spider-Verse, and that is any Spider-Verse character at a minimum of 5 stars, as she's a 5-star unlock. But Invisible Woman can only you can only use since a 6th unlocker. So the other Flash events are, of course, Payday and Relic Hunt. Payday requires mercenaries. The Relic Hunt event requires hand. So if I show you where each one of those sort of teams are, we'll start off with our City Heroes, which is the requirement for the block party. If we have a look at your City Heroes, we have Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Punisher, Jessica Jones, and soon to be Iron Fist ready. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to be. It'll be happening this month because it didn't happen last month. So City Heroes are going to be at 3 stars for the next block party event. If we have a look at my hand team anyway, we will be, I think, just short of 3-star getting the tier 3 unlock, which is going to be tomorrow, or actually in the next 42 minutes, I should say. Then if we move to our mercenaries, we can see that they are all 3 stars. Killmonger, Korath, Bullseye, Mercenary Lieutenant, and Mercenary Riot Guard. Now, Payday, I'd say, is probably one of the more important Flash events that you want to focus on, just because that gold is so important. And then last but not least, we have... last but not least is the Wakandans. Now, as mentioned, Wakandans are a little bit harder to farm early on. M'Baku is in the arena store, but I would not recommend using your arena credits early on for him. I would prioritize getting your Vulture up, for example, just to get Shuri unlocked as soon as possible. The other characters that I had mentioned would be Heimdall for the Asgardians, possibly Scarlet Witch, well, not Scarlet Witch, sorry, Mordo. He is not only a Villain Mystic Controller, which is one of the requirements used for Phoenix. Phoenix unlocks at 6 stars, by the way. But he's very useful in not only the villains, not only the Mystic, but also the Cosmic campaign. So he's a very good character early on, a very good kit. Killmonger's farmable in the raid store, Okoye only in campaign nodes, and the campaign node that she is unlockable through is Nexus 6-3. So just to let you know, Nexus campaign requires any character. There are no restrictions whatsoever. The only restrictions I believe there are in Nexus 8, Nexus Chapter 8 that is. Just to confirm, yeah, Nexus Chapter 8 I believe is when they start putting restrictions. But anyway, so that's sort of where I am in the game. I'm slowly, I always say have a passive farm, and by passive I mean, in the back. Your main priority should be your main team that you're using for arena, for your raid teams, because early on you're not as likely to have any issues. I think in Ultimate, you could probably take most of the teams that you start off farming into Ultimate 6, but unless you're fortunate enough to find a really strong alliance, you're not going to be doing those, really strong raids. Even Gamma 2, for example, right now, I can use my Wave 1 Avengers and there's no restrictions on them. So, think about synergy, think about solid teams, and sort of build your way up. But okay, so that's going to be the first episode of the Race to Ultron. It was mainly just to show you the power of my what my TCP is, what I'm focusing on, and we'll keep you posted. I'll try to do this at least 2 to 3 times a week, just so I'm keeping you guys posted, showing you how often I'm leveling up, what's my next sort of farm, what my next focus is. And then, of course, if you need any assistance, I do stream every day at 7:30 PM GMT on Twitch. So I run both my accounts at the same time. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, if you're a newer player or even an existing player, do not hesitate to come by, or even leave some comments on the YouTube video down below. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you get alerted when I do come out with a new video. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.